everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner. Yes, it is daytime. It is the whole daytime, okay? If y'all do not know, I am off work today because someone else had my keys. I went live about it and everything, okay? But however, this is my review for 90 Day Fiance. This is season 4, episode 6. I hope the people outside cutting grass all outside my window don't be all in the microphone. So just ignore, the yard work going on outside. The weather nice now and they getting things. I feel like Alex saying, shut up! Okay. Anyway, as I said, this is my review for 90 Day Fiance Season 4, Episode 6 that came on yesterday. I really don't like these 2-hour episodes. It's just so much to have to go through, so much to have to, shift through and take notes about and see what's going on. I don't have any pictures this particular time because I feel like we have been on this show enough where y'all know who each person is. So I don't feel like adding in pictures, okay? But if you have not done so already, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel and mug on my whole J Birds. Done. Okay. Do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell, hit the like button, hit the damn button, okay, and all that goodness. Here come the goddamn line more. We're gonna start off with Colt and Larissa. Colt and Larissa, Lord Jesus, we know they was, not on the best of terms since Colt, called the police, and then they told Debbie last episode that, Larissa really has 2 kids back in Brazil, and Debbie did not take it too well. So Colt had decided to take Debbie to the pet supply store to get some stuff. I'm not gonna microphone on to get some stuff for her cats because shopping for her cats makes her feel good, and he wants his mama to feel better and not be so upset. So they walking and talking and walking or whatever. And for the most part, Debbie said she feel like Colt and Larissa, I think more Colt really, who kept this secret from her. It kind of aggravates her, and she said it makes me feel like I didn't really matter and they didn't really think about me in the long run. And Colt feel like it wasn't about you. Colt lets his mama know, she told me up front she had kids. I knew she had children mainly because I had to put that information on the visa status application and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So I knew we just decided not to tell you because it was something that we had to handle. So he brings up how her daughter is around 4 years old. The son is around 8 years old. One of the kids stayed with her father. The other kids stayed with that kid's parents, okay? So I'm like, girl, Larissa don't even have her own children in this period. So again, Debbie like, I just think they need to focus on their marriage. You know what I'm saying? They need to be working on that. They don't need no kids involved. And I just don't know why they even, why he even be with somebody who got kids in another country. And it's stuff like that. Debbie like, look, I feel like this Debbie... The only reason they should have told Debbie was because Colt and his mama live together. So I feel like if you marrying somebody who have kids and you're moving that woman here and you would expect to move the children here as well, why wouldn't you tell me it may be a possibility that some children would be here too? Because that's something that Debbie needs to know. However, at the same time, Colt and Larissa and the children was more Colt and Larissa's issue and not really Debbie. I do feel like as long as she was honest with Colty, that's what really matters. So, but this mama like, I'm gonna see how it's gonna go or whatever, because it's some things in the water, and you know what I'm saying, that's on them, but I still don't feel like they should be, they should be together with her having these children in another country. I'm like, but it's her country. But whatever. Colt brings up how, because she said, well, like, are you responsible for the children too? Like, are you financially responsible for these children? And he says, well, to my knowledge, I'm not. He said mainly because, one, Larissa don't have the kids, and not only does Larissa not have the kids don't live with me and Larissa either. So I'm not responsible for these children. He brings up, but if he and Larissa think about it later to bring, I think he said the daughter. So I'm guessing she must not have custody of the son, because he said if she wants the daughter to come live with them, because the daughter is with her father, not the daughter's father, Larissa's father. And so that will be the one kid who can probably come to the States and be with them. He said, but right now we need to work on our marriage. So, we not even concerned with either kid coming here right now because we not even good. Y'all not? Y'all not. So much so that we do see Larissa and Colt going to therapy. Okay, I'm like, oh yeah, they need some therapy. But they're going to sex therapy. You wanna know why? Because Colt and Larissa, as he say, has not had sex in about a month. Ever since the whole I called the police on her because she was beating me up a little bit, scratching me a little bit, and then she got arrested and went to jail. So they have not had sex since then. But I do feel like handcuffs, getting arrested, getting the whole record would be a reason for me to feel like I don't want to be bothered with you, bruh. I don't want to have sex with you, bruh. That's one thing that can put a whole dampering on a sexual situation if you call the police on me and I get arrested. I'm not going to say I'm going to be mad for a whole month. We're not going to have sex. We may have some angry sex, okay? But it probably won't be no love making. I love you, I'm not mad at you sex. It's going to be some angry sex for a good month. So the simple fact that Cole and Larissa haven't even had angry sex for the past 6 months means they don't have a good sex life, probably in general. So they go to sex therapy, whatever. And while they driving there, he felt like, I find you very attractive. You find me attractive. And she was just like, don't you find me attractive? She was like, yes, he cool. Which means no. Which absolutely means no. I'm like, girl, whatever. Because she rolled her eyes and she said yes. She said she also feels like Colt is a nymphomaniac. And like he just always wants sex. He thinks she's like a little blow up doll. He feel like a woman's job is to please him or to please a man at all times. I feel like when you're married, you're supposed to please your spouse, and that goes for the husband and for the wife. And if but I said this before. I said people have to have conversations about what their sex drive is like, because if your partner wants sex a whole bunch and that ain't what you want, you're gonna have issues. So you have to be sexually compatible as well as emotionally, mentally, financially. All those things have to match up in one way or the other. But that don't happen when your wife is from another country and you paid for her to come here. But, it was what it was. She also brings up, I don't trust him as a human being. I have no sexual desire for him since he called the police. I say, damn, you don't trust him as a human being? Like he's not human? Girl, your lips ain't human. That's not nice. I'm trying to be nice there. Anyway, in the therapist's office, Larissa brings up Colt's mom. His mom lived there. We live there, whatever. And, his mom is, even though I'm his first wife, his mom acts like his first wife. And she don't let me do things, like she won't let me be his wife. If I want to do this, she wants to do it instead, or she's already done it. So, she kind of taking control of things and whatnot. Colt said how he just feels stuck in the middle, which is true, but he could be less stuck in the middle if he just told their asses calm the hell down sometimes and go their respective corners and say, "Ma, let her do all the house stuff. If she want to do house stuff, just let her do it." And then if Larissa don't do it, and then you do it, Larissa can't get upset. But you can't do something before she does it. That's just not how it go or whatever. So for the most part, the therapist said, well, you need to set boundaries, Colt. You have to, make sure they have their own, voices within the situation. She like, unless you like the tension between your mom and your wife. And he was like, of course I don't. That's not true. I'm like, we never know. So she also brings up how them living with his mama may not be good for the marriage. I say, hold up, not therapist. When Larissa came here, she knew Colt's mom lived with him, and they had a codependent relationship, and she stayed with him, or vice versa, because they just took care of each other. So my thing is, Larissa can't come over here and be like, oh, his mama stayed here and it's an issue. He was with his mama beforehand. Period. And I feel like there are plenty of people who have healthy marriages where the husband or the wife's mom live there and it ain't no issue. I'm going to say this. Many of people have had sex in houses with parents in the house, whether the parents knew it or not. Now, sneaking and having sex with a parent in the house is different than, you've been a grown ass adult and your parent live and you got to be quiet. I mean, but it's doable. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, oh, if a parent in the house can't no sex go on. No, it's gonna be some fucking. Okay, if my parent lived with me, one, I would have to have a house big enough for it to make sense. Or if my house wasn't big enough for it to be enough space, for whatever sounds to not travel, parent would have to understand, well, Jay Lee has a life too. I have a whole husband and sex is part of marriage. So I don't think I wonder if Debbie has an issue with them fucking. I don't think she do. But it was what it was. But again, I like the therapist and how, it's not good for the mom to live there. She was there before Larissa. Fuck that. Don't do that. Don't do that. So Colt brings up how Larissa takes forever to even get ready for sex. How she's always putting on makeup, takes a shower, she does this, she does that, she wants to get dressed. She wants to have it to be a whole mood. A whole mood. And the therapist, well, that's like setting the scene. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But I do feel like if I get home from work at 7, you should be getting ready for sex from like 7 to 9. Like I feel like you're not ready yet. Like to take a good old shower and come to bed naked. Like that's all it really should take. But people different things and whatever. He said he felt like sometimes I just want to roll over and kiss her and do whatever. And then the therapist say, well, that's called a quickie. I mean, sometimes no, that don't mean it's a quickie. The therapist, I don't know if she's a good therapist. Because my thing is, just because you want to roll over and kiss somebody, it does not make it a quickie. It just means I don't need you to go in the room and yes.
Why didn't you call me?
I'm recording.
Oh, sorry. I just saw your text messages.
Oh, I was watching stuff.
Oh, all right. Call me when you're done. Tell me all about it.
Okay, love you.
Love you too.
My mom. Yeah, but sometimes you want to go ahead and just have sex and not a quickie. You just don't want the person to have to go do a whole 2 hour thing to get ready, whatever. I mean, that's just seems too much. So for the most part, Larissa then say our Colt isn't really too good in the bed. He like, it's not all the way that good. Like sometimes he don't know what he doing. I'm like, oh, cool, T. So, she's like, she said, like people in Brazil, like Brazilian people are like love makers or whatever. They know how to please a woman. He need help in that area. Well, that's fun right there. Have him help you. Have him help you. Teach him some things, girl. Teach him some things. Sometimes teaching a person what to do in the bedroom, it's just as fun as them doing it. I'm just gonna say. Anyway, the doctor brings up a great point. Like she's like, y'all just don't speak the same language sexually. Like y'all not communicating the right way. The way that Larissa like to do things is not how Colt like to do things, and vice versa. And then y'all not having a conversation. Again, you have to be sexually compatible. Okay, I said you have to be sexually compatible. You really, really do. So she tells like y'all need to date each other. Y'all need to get to know each other more, do different things, like blindfold each other and do things to each other and then ask them, do you like that? I mean, I would not want to be blindfolded. Because, like, what if you just stick something somewhere and I don't want to stuck there? And I'm like, what the fuck is you doing? But she said, like, blindfold each other, like, get a feather, get some ice, do whatever. Get some sex dice. Shake them on up and see what it say. And do whatever is on the sex dice. But yeah, spice it up a little bit. But I do like how she said, y'all need to still date each other, and have the conversation of, what do you like? What do you like? Well, I like this. Well, I like that. Well, let's do this and that together. And that's how it can go. So, later on we see them go, the counseling session went good. They were saying it was a good thing. They're going to try the little homework thing and they're going to blindfold each other and see what each other like. We then see how they went to a pumpkin patch. Now, Larissa brings up how in her country they don't really celebrate Halloween how we do. So she's like, I want to be something different, Goldie. I don't want to be like a slut. I want to be that bitch. She said, well, like a sexy bitch? She's like, yes, like a sexy bitch with a brain. I said, well, look, I mean, if you say so. So when they get to the pumpkin patch, she didn't get the concept of what you do with the pumpkin. How you get the pumpkin, you carve the pumpkin, and it's like, it's a pumpkin. She's like, this is childish. Like, it's childish. But he said, no, I like carving pumpkins. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. But again, she just don't get it. But however, they went and bought um some like decorations to decorate the house for Halloween. And so they at the house decorate because they had a good day at the pumpkin patch. They walk around laughing and joking. She said, let's get a pumpkin that look like you. It was an old white looking pumpkin. It was, ooh. let's get a pudgy pumpkin that looks like you. And she picked some ugly pumpkins. It was some regular orange color pumpkins that look like him. I said, girl, she don't know that white pumpkin's a whole insult. Anyway, at the house, they trying to decorate things. And for the most part, Larissa wants to decorate the house a little bit more. And she wants to kind of get rid of Debbie's slot machine. Now, when she first got there, they told her that slot machine was a gift from her husband who has since passed away, and she has sentimental value towards that dang on slot machine. So that's why the slot machine hasn't moved. So Larissa wants to suggest to Debbie that once Halloween is over and they're taking down decorations and putting things away, can they also put away the slot machine to put it in the garage? And Debbie like, no, 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 no. Even though Debbie came downstairs, said how good the decorations look, she put out some more Halloween decorations from the closet, and it was cool until Larissa said, can we move your slot machine into the garage? And Debbie's like, nope, not having it. You've already moved other things. I've given away other things because you want to decorate. Like, I've given in a lot. I'm not going to give in on that one slot machine. And I feel like this. Debbie has every right to feel like you here, I let you be here. You were my son, I don't care. All I want in this house that I was in before you got here is to keep the slot machine that my husband gave to me. And this is the thing about compromise, okay, with your man's people. Let that stay there. Design around it. And if anyone says, why is there a slot machine in the middle? Because Colt's late father gave that to Debbie, and she don't want to get rid of it. And leave it at that. It's the one dumb thing in a corner that you feel is dumb, but to Debbie, it was a gift from her dead husband. Like, girl, it's one thing. I can see if she had a whole bunch of stuff around, and she got this and that and that, but it's the one thing in the week that she talked about. Let it be there. And because Debbie, like, saying, I don't want to get rid of it. Now her and Larissa arguing because Larissa felt like, well, she won't do this and she won't do that and she don't care. Saying, and it's kind of crazy. And, Larissa said how Debbie don't care about stuff until I want to move it. And now they beefing. And Debbie kind of walked off and went upstairs and like threw a plastic, Halloween severed hand down the stairs. And, oh, is that what have hit me, Debbie? I'm like, girl, just stop. Anyway, that was the whole thing. I did not mean to take that much goddamn time to talk about them fools. Andre and Elizabeth, it's really easy. Andre don't have no job. They money is dwindling. She working all kind of hours because he still don't have no job. She go to her dad when one of her dads rental properties and they having the whole conversation. For the most part, she know Andre is fucking up. She know they should not have moved out of her dad's place. She know all these things, but she let Andre convince her they had to move out. Okay, and she had to do that by borrowing money from my daddy. Now at the house, they chit chatting and jaw jacking or whatever. And, she like, so much getting prepared for the baby. It's hard paying bills, paying rent and having to have money for the baby. Like, it's just getting harder and harder because everything is on me. Everything is on my shoulders. Why? Because her husband from a different country don't work. Even though he's an able-bodied human being, he will not work. Okay? When her dad get there, and, he's like, well, how's things going? What's going on or whatnot. And he brings up, too, how he's frustrated because, like, I let them stay in my house to live there rent-free so they could save money. And they just threw that away and moved out, and that's dumb. And not only that, he ain't even working. So I don't know why she let him talk her into doing this because it doesn't make any sense. And it does not. So, when she like, Andre don't want to do the trucking thing anymore, he kind of says he doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want to be away from his family or his child for that long. And, so things are stressful would have all been on me. And he was like, he picked trucking. Like, he came here, he researched it, he picked that. He took like a gear and did that, and now all of a sudden he don't do it. That's crazy. Like, because again, he picked it himself. It wasn't something that we suggested for him. That was his choice. Now he doesn't want to do it. That's crazy. So, her dad, like, you can't be out here rethinking things and rethinking what you want to do when you have a whole pregnant wife, you know what I'm saying? And you ain't working and she's the only breadwinner or whatever. So Elizabeth said how much she loves her husband or whatever, and she wants to rely on him, his opinions, but he don't make the best decisions. But I'm like, no, you don't make the best decision because you know what he was saying is wrong and you let him do it anyway, and that's just stupid. She said, well, when before he came here, he bragged about how he was such a hard worker, and now that he's here, I don't see that he's a hard worker. Like, he just kind of wants to do his own thing, and if he can't do his own thing, he'll just do nothing until his own thing happens, because you don't know that man. So, he told her that, like, if he ever found out that I borrowed the money from you to move, he would be pissed. And the dad, like, you need to tell him, because if you don't tell him, it's gonna get worse and worse and worse, and you just can't keep that as a secret. So for the most part, she then said, well, what if he asked you for a job? Like, would you hire him if I can convince him to ask you for a job? And the dad say, look, if he come to me, truthfully and honestly or whatever, he come to me and he show me he wants to actually do the job, stick to the job. You know what I'm saying? And he has to be sincere about it. I would absolutely give him a job, because you know what I'm saying. You, my daughter, I want to help you out. But he also brings up how he has to want it has to be like a business conversation, not a I'm your daughter husband, can you help us out? Like, I want it to be like he actually works for me. And I don't think anything's wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? I just need him to be able to stick to the job and do a job. And that's really it. I don't think he's gonna do that. I don't. So when she get home and she chit chat and jaw jack with her husband, who's sitting at the kitchen counter after she been working all day, and it's like, so what you doing? Oh, fixing my flyer. He gonna have a put up a flyer for him being a handyman. I'm like, you posted it on social media? Like, you gonna print it and put it on like posts around the city or something? What's going on? So he's like, I'm just adding some things so people will know what I do. I mean, you're a handyman. You do handy things. Handy dandy, you know what I'm saying? Handy. No, stop. Don't do that, Jay Lee. Anyway, she is tired, and she like, well, okay, I'm about to have the baby soon. Like, eventually it's gonna be time for me to stop working. And, we need to fix some things out. And then, he like, she said she brings up how it was getting harder for them to pay bills because, again, it's just her income, and the fact that they had to borrow money from her daddy from to move. I'm like, she must not even be making enough money to be where they are and cover everything else. So he is like, I'll figure it out. I get a job soon, and it'll be whatever. I'm like, I'm not gonna do trucking anymore. And she's like, well, how about you ask my dad for a job? He can give some handyman work. Can you do that? No, I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna ask him for no job. You know, her daddy is her saving grace. Her daddy is her angel or whatever. I'm not gonna do that, because if I ask him for a job and I'm working for him, if he don't like what I'm doing, he can then have something to say about it. I'm like, well, that's with any boss. Even if it ain't her daddy, any boss who don't like the job you're doing, they can say something, okay? That's what they do. And for the most part, she like, you not being realistic. You not making any money. Everything is on me. And once I had this baby, I'm not going to be working. Like, you gonna have to figure it out. And then he like, well, whatever. I'm the man of the house. No, you're not. You are a dependent in so many ways of the word. You not working, and if you never work, she is there responsible for you for 10 years. That's called a dependent. She can claim your her taxes, okay? And so when he like, I'm the man of the house, it is what it is. She then thinks this is the time to tell him where she really got the money from for them to move. And so she says, remember when I told you I got money from my dad? It was a bonus for working. He's like, yes. And we was moving and stuff. He's like, yes. She was like, it wasn't a bonus. He let me borrow the money because we cannot afford it. I cannot believe you. Why would you lie to me? And I'm looking like, first of all, whether her dad gave her a bonus or gave her money, her dad still pays her. Period. Okay, whether it's a loan or whatever, her dad still pays for everything. You don't pay for shit. You have no say so in any matter because you don't pay any bills. What do you do, bruh? All day. Nothing. Nothing. So he's upset mainly because, like, you making things worse by not listening to me and asking your daddy for money. And now he gonna have something to say. Well, it's your fault, brother. You wanna know why? Cause you ain't working. And then she walk like, I'm just so tired of this. Well, you let him do it. You let him convince you to move out of a rent-free home. Do you know how much people would love to live in a rent-free home? Every fucking one in America. But your dumb self let your husband, who do not work and have no job leaves, convince you to not only move out of a rent-free house, but to you had to borrow money from your daddy secretly to even afford to move. Girl, next. Pedro and Chantel. You know, Pedro still in the DR partying it up. Okay, he's not talking to Chantel. He's not really answering her phone calls. And she bring up how I ain't talked to him in a couple of days. I'm like, well, girl, you kind of crazy. So, she has a friend in the Dominican Republic who she calls because again she ain't talked to Pedro. Said friend say, look, girl, come to the DR. Because she gives him the rundown of what happened. He left when he coming back and he there and I ain't there with him. Now, said friend said he also saw Pedro in the DR and he was surprised that Chantel was not with him. So again, you should come to the Dominican Republic and see what's going on. He also brings up some things about how he used to be dating a friend of the family of Pedro's, and the friend of the family lived in America, and the friend of the family was sending Pedro's family money. And when her friend told that person, hey, you should stop sending them money, Pedro's family broke them two up. So he like, I already, have issues with them or whatever. But you should come here. Because when you come here, I can tell you more in person. And she's like, okay, I got to talk to, Pedro about that or whatever. I'm like, girl, whatever. I need to make a decision about what I want to do. You think? Do you think Chantel is stupid sometimes? So we see Chantel go out for girls' night out, and she with her little friends and coworkers and whatnot. And she mentioned how Pedro left for the DR, how he don't know when he's gonna be back. She said he told me he might be gone for a month, he might be gone for 2 months, and he gonna use the money in their savings to survive. I said, bitch, whose savings? My savings? Our savings? Girl, the minute Pedro would have left, I would have closed that account. I would have left enough money to get him an Uber to the house, and then I'm done. I'm done. You not using our savings to go for a month-long trip in the DR. No, the fuck you ain't, bro. It ain't gonna happen that way. Not when you not telling me when you coming home. Ain't gonna happen. I was like, what the fuck you say? Not on my watch. Not on my watch. Okay, in my Yana voice. So, she also brings up how, even if I'm sorry. She brings up how even if she divorces him, how she would still be responsible to support him. And I'm like, that's why you can't be spies from people from other countries, okay? The only human beings that we in America should sponsor from other country are children. Our children. I don't think anybody should marry someone from a different country and be held financially responsible for them for 10 years. That's just stupidity. That's just stupidity, okay? Anyway, she brings up how her sister brings up how, I told her that she should go to the Dominican Republic just to see what's going on and to show him, look, I mean business about this whole, we're going to figure this shit out. Because if she's still here, you know what I'm saying, it can be whatever. So the friends like, you should go. You should go and you should get your answers, because if not, you're going to consistently be wondering, what the hell's going on? What's going on? I don't know. Okay? So she said, oh, okay, I'm going to go, but I'm going to talk to Pedro first. Girl, fuck talking to Pedro. He don't talk to you. I'm not checking in with nobody who ain't checking in with me. Anyway, Pedro, is in the Dominican Republic getting dressed with no drawers on. He got a shower, whatever, getting dressed. And he brings up how he had a great time hanging out with his sister, his friends, and her friends. The girl who liked him or whatever. And he had a great time. And he hoped Chantel never finds out about that night. Well, it was on camera. And I don't know if he mean by he was up there grinding with that girl, or because he may have done something with that girl. I'm not sure what, but as he said, he's having a great, wonderful time in the Dominican Republic. So Chantel then video chats him and tells him I miss you. He says, I miss you too. I'm like, why would you hesitate as if you don't know if you miss her? He brings up again, well, I miss her. But you know what I'm saying? I'm here for some free time or whatnot. She then say, I'm thinking about coming to the Dominican Republic. He's like, for what? No, 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 no. Don't you come here. You know what I'm saying? Go to California, go to Florida. You know what I'm saying? Just whatever else, but don't come here. You know what I'm saying? I need a break. That's why I'm here. I'm here to visit my family. You don't need to be here. Don't come here. I don't want you here. And then she like, nah, nah, nah. You know what I'm saying? This is your home. You live in America now. You know what I'm saying? You live in the U.S. This is your home. I'm like, first of all, no. His home is still Brazil. That's where he's from. Don't act like that ain't still his, where he wants to be called home. You know what I'm saying? But she's like, look, it don't matter because I already booked my flight. Okay? I'm already on the way. We're going to spend time together. And that's it. And he like, no, I don't want you here. No. Stay in the America. Stay in the U.S. No, don't come here. I'm like, he is really telling her, like, don't come. That would have had me file for divorce. Period. Because I just, because he's been there a couple of days, but again, he's still not saying like, well, baby, I'm here. I'm more calm now. I've had some time with my family. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be back next week. I already booked my plane to return next week on a Friday. But you still acting like you don't know when you're coming home. So I digress. So we then see him like, oh my God, she coming here. She already had issues with my family in Atlanta and they haven't talked to her since, and her coming here will make everything worse. Well, it's possible, but also good things could happen. We don't know. So Pedro then goes to tell his mom and his sister how Chantel is coming. And neither of them is happy about it. I can't believe that. Why would she come here? You're with your family. You needed a break from her. Like, why can't she stay in the States? And I'm like, at this point in time, I'm like, his family is bad too. Like, what is y'all? Why is everyone so against? It's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? And when they say how, what I'm saying, it's his time, how dare she come here? Because it's her fucking husband. It's her husband. And again, it isn't like she know when he coming back. He left the U.S. and went to DR and said, I don't know how long I'll be gone. It could be a month or two. I don't need no roundabout answers. I need my flight is booked to return on this day. Even if you don't come back on that day, you need to tell me when you can lie to me and say, I'm coming back on the 5th and you ain't. But to say, I don't know when I'm coming back, well, you can't go. You can't go, okay? But I digress. So, for the most part, he mad because now his mom and his sister is so against her coming. And he like, so this how y'all gonna act like the whole town shit? Well, yes, that's how, she didn't respect us in Atlanta, so it's some bullshit, and we don't have to treat her nice. Like, we don't have to be nice to her. And he like, so this how it's gonna always be between y'all and her? And they was basically like, yes. I was like, bitch, what is going on here? Now, see, the weird part about it was, too, that it was also is that when Chantel was talking to her friend who stayed in the DR, she mentioned how when the first time they was on the show, how her mom kind of confronted or brought up to Pedro how she saw a website that his mom owns or works or does things for that was like advertising Dominican women who can marry American men to get to the States. So they already feel like his people is some scammers, and they may have scammed her and had Pedro come there be there for her, and now he's done. He's going home. It can be either way, but I can appreciate he told his mama and his sister like, y'all need to respect my wife, okay? Because if she here, she here. If she can't stay here, she can't stay here. She ain't gonna stay here. And Pedro just go to his room like it's some bullshit. It's some utter bullshit. He said, I feel he just don't like the fact that they won't even they're saying they're not gonna be nice to her based on what happened in Atlanta. But I'm like, y'all ain't supposed to be together. Cause y'all families hate each other and y'all allow that to fuck up y'all union. But that's on y'all. So, Nicole and Azan. Nicole and Azan, I feel like or both of them are catfishing us. At this point, I don't know who. I don't know if it's Azan who was leading Nicole on and she's just that stupid and gullible, or if Nicole knows Azan has already ghosted her and she's leading everyone else on. Like to me it seemed like she's a person who told one lie and she's getting caught deeper and deeper in her lie, and so she has to lie more and more and more. So she packing for this trip to Grenada with him. And her dad and her brother are like, are you really sure it's gonna happen? Like, is he really coming? Like, have you even seen his ticket? Like, how do you know this is really happening? And because everyone around her is telling her, you're foolish. This doesn't make any sense. Abort the mission. Abort the mission. And it seemed like she just don't want to listen. And I'm like, I feel like she told a lie. And she's telling more lies to cover for the previous lies. And now she just stuck in a sea of lies. And she don't even know what's truth or what's fiction. It's either that or he really just lead her on and she just stupid or gullible. Anyway, they like, does he even like, is he, you know, ready for the trip? Yeah, he's excited. He can't wait to see us. He misses me. He misses my daughter. Like, he can't wait. And of course, there's a ticket because I bought it. I'm like, how did she buy a ticket if she don't have no money? Like, girl, I just don't get how is she affording to buy them tickets to Grenada when she don't have no, I don't think she has a girl, I don't know. It's just weird. Like, she don't have no car. They live in a trailer park. Like, I'm like, how you affording to send them? That's how you doing it. You out here poor facing yourself to give him money. Okay, you poor facing your damn self. Nicole, you stupid. Anyway, so the day, like, I cannot believe she bought his ticket. Like, I just like, I don't get why she's sending him money. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think, he likes her. You know what I'm saying? Why isn't he working? Like, you gave him money for that store, that shop. Like, what's going on? And she just standing there looking like dumb Diddy. We're fine. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna work out. We love. It's gonna be fine. I'm like, girl, you look like a Vembot about to explode because you just overloading with lies and it's anticipation. So the dad, like, what if I meet him and I don't approve of him? Because you said that if I met him if I met him and I did not approve, you would not move on with the marriage. And she's like, I don't know. I don't think you're gonna like him. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even gonna focus on that. You're gonna like him. Girl, do you like him? Well, clearly she does because she's being dumb diddy about it. So she brings up as well how we have become stronger as a couple, even though we are far away from each other. And I was like, well, that's dumb. I don't believe you. So, again, I'm like, why haven't we seen her have a phone conversation with him? Like, why haven't we heard him on speakerphone? Like, I'm confused about what's going on, but I think we're being catfished. So we see Nicole in the trailer park on the phone. What'd you say, baby? What did you say? I can't hear you. It's a bad area. You want to repeat that again? Can you hear me? I'm like, what fake ass phone conversation is she having? She then say, whatever you're doing is not good. And then she hangs up the phone. She gets upset. She slams the door, goes to her room, and they're like, you know, Nicole was on the phone with Aslan and something happened, okay? For some reason, he's canceled the trip, okay? And then 15 minutes later, her mama show up. And they're like, well, do you know what's going on? She's like, well, she called me. She said, for some reason, he canceled the trip. So she's upset. I don't know what really happened. The mama go in the house to talk to her. She come back out and say, she isn't here. I'm like, where the fuck did she go? Like, how many exits does the trailer park have? And then, she's like, oh, she's around here somewhere, but she isn't in the trailer. She then say, does anybody have a flashlight? I'm like, a flashlight? So the mama now walking around the trailer park with a flashlight, looking for her daughter, looking for Nicole. I said, Nicole, why you wrong in the trailer park, girl? And the night, girl. The mama found her, and they do a little, they have a conversation. So Azan had to cancel the trip because she said he had a family emergency. But she also said I sent him a text and asked him if he was willing to say why he couldn't come on camera, and he then texted back and said no. If you call him and put him on speakerphone, he won't know. He won't know. I'm like, don't he know you don't? It's just some don't sound right, and I don't know what it is. So the mama like he's a scammer. Okay, I don't think he wants to be with her, but I'm gonna let her live her life because she up there looking like it's okay. I'm not upset. I get it. He has family. He has to, do things or whatever. I'm not upset. He has to be there for his family. And when we're married and we're a couple, we're husband and wife, no one can stop us. I say, girl. She's so delusional. She's so delusional. It's sad. It's oh so sad. Russ and Paula. Is it Paula? I'm gonna say Paula. It's real simple. They back home in Miami. She happy that they not in Oklahoma. They're going to a doctor's appointment. Now, when she had the miscarriage before, they are still grieving that. So after this doctor's appointment, they're both realizing, dang, had we not lost the first child, we would have been having a baby around this time. So of course they are both emotional. And at the appointment, she brings up how she has this rare blood type. And because she has this rare blood type, she has to get this shot. And the shot prevents her body from reacting from the blood type of the baby. And so that could possibly be a reason why things went bad the first time, because she said how she didn't even know about this rare blood type until she had the first miscarriage. And so she has to have these shots like every so often or whenever, I don't know, to prevent her body from reacting badly to the different blood type. So for the most part, they just talking or whatever, she brings up how she's still emotional about the miscarriage, how she'll never get over it. He admits how when she had the miscarriage, he could have and should have been more supportive of her. He also brings up how he realized that this was not the right time for him to take a job in Oklahoma at all. And so he said, for the most part, me and her, we're going to be focusing on this baby, being healthy and being happy, and that's it. I'm like, okay. Ashley and Jay. Zero fucks given. Zero fucks given. Okay, she's still in New York with her crazy friends or whatever. And so, James upset with me because I was out and he did not know where I was. I'm like, girl, I don't get no fucks. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think I can trust him. Like, I just wonder, like, I can't trust if he's out with his friends that he's not cheating on me. I can't do that. It's weird. I want to be able to trust him. Well, bitch, trust him. Either trust him or let his ass go, is what I would say. So, she said, well, 'cause before I was working like 10 or 12 hours, and I just wondered, like, what was he doing all the time when I was working? Probably sleeping on Tinder and playing Nintendo. Okay? Anyway, she's like, I just want to be able to trust him, and not keep worrying about what he's doing. I'm like, I don't care. She get home and get in the house. Jay giving her the silent treatment. Hey, Jay. He don't say shit. You hungry? He don't say shit. What you been doing since I was gone? What you think I've been doing? Nothing. I had fun. Nothing. Oh, I don't think that's true. He said, well, here, you can check my phone. And she said, well, you've probably already deleted what was in there. He like, I wish I had stuff to delete. I'm like, girl. He said how he not gonna keep kissing her ass, and she need to figure out what she wants to do. She either wants to be with him or not. And I'm like, but we don't care that much now. It doesn't really matter. We then see her upstairs putting her makeup on, and she's like, Jay, come here. He come upstairs. She talked for a few minutes. I was not listening. All I heard her say was, I want us to try again. I want to be able to move past it. And you know what I'm saying? I want us to try to be happy and move forward. And so I'm okay now to work on things and move forward and stop bringing up old shit. And that was it. And I'm going to say this. If she bring up at any time of that Tinder shit, I'm throwing my whole TV out the goddamn window. Anyway, that was the whole thing. Again, Jay and Ashley do not get much from me because I don't believe their situation is true, factual, actual, contractual, or nothing. Asan and Nicole, I think it's some other bullshit, okay? Some fatal attraction bullshit to where she's fatally attracted to this person who don't want to fuck with her anymore. Paola and Russ, I hope the baby is healthy and beautiful and all those good things. For Andre and Elizabeth, he need to get a job and she need to stop being dumb and letting him make decisions when he ain't got no job. Pedro and Chantel are both stupid on both ends. They both have their faults and it gets on my goddamn on nerves. And I think that's everybody. So I'm done. Peace.